9 weeks we've been trying to get this thing back to the track since we changed the converter. 8 of those times we got rained out, and once was lack of a dog sitter. But look, we finally made it to the world's most uphill drag strip. It's a hill climb. It's more of a hill climb than a drag strip. Buffalo Valley. So if you're new to this, or you're following along but you kind of lost track of stuff, last year we put this thing together. The whole build on this engine is on the Slaghammer. It's a budget 3D3 build. And internally it's a completely stock 3D3. It's just been like blueprinted. The cam is different and it's got the tunnel ram. But other than that, it's a stock 3D3. So we put it together. It made Power Tour last year. It did all of that. After Power Tour, we swapped out the converter because we had a stock converter in there and we had 323 gears. So we swapped the converter for a 4,500 RPM converter and we put 430 gears in it. And the car turned around and it ran a couple of 830s and it ran an 812. Okay, this is pretty good because the goal was to get this thing into the 7s with this engine. We have a much spicier engine for this thing lined up, but first we want to maximize what we have here. We want to get as much as we can out of this engine. So in my mind, this car should be able to run 780, 770 like that, 8 miles with this motor. So this year we took it out a couple of times, and every time we ran the car, it got progressively slower. Couldn't figure out why. The last time we were here, it struggled to run an 850, and then the second run was a 9.0. I mean, it was just dead off the starting line. New converter, right? What could possibly be going on here? It was the converter. The converter was slowly locking itself up. So we swapped the converter out. We've got a fresh one here. Our buddy Shane Polito over at TCI hooked us up with a fresh one, 4,500 RPM converter. I've launched the thing a couple of times in the shop. It hit hard. It hit really hard. So if seat of the pants from the shop translates to the drag strip tonight, it's deep in the 7s. But it doesn't always work out that way. We got to find out. So I'm going to warm this thing up now. And we keep our fingers crossed. I think it might be a bad battery connection to that guy. So far, so good. All right, let's roll it over into the lanes and see what she's going to do. I was lazy, 190 60 foot and ran like an 855. So I'm going to bump the timing a little bit and see what happens. It just didn't feel all that snappy, but I think the converter is working. So let's throw a couple of degrees and see what it does. So I left off idle.
Yes.
Which was a mistake. I should have brought up because I lost a tenth off my 60. But then 200 feet out, 150, 200 feet out, started, it was breaking up.
Yeah, it sounded, it wasn't laying over anymore.
Right.
You grabbed second, and shortly after that, that's when it started to break up.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. I don't know what it is. I looked at the plugs between the last oils. It looked okay.
Yeah, but there's something on that side of the motor.
Yeah.
It's not happy.
Black smoke?
No, it's like that white, green, unburned fuel. Yeah, but it wasn't black like you have to choke on. But
as soon as you give it gas, it goes away.
As soon as you give it gas, when you're in the burnout, the exhaust looked clean.
Yeah, it sounded clean. It sounded really good in the burnout. And then, if I had left a little harder, if I would have been more aggressive, it would have launched all right. But No, in the middle of the track, it just goes
Yeah.
like it's in pain.
Just breaking up. Yeah, not happy. Yeah.
I'm not going to screw around with it anymore tonight. When I look at the rain holds off, we'll come back next Saturday and give it another shot.
Okay.
But you had good luck.
I had good luck.
Tell YouTube the kind of good luck you had.
Come to Buffalo Valley, and for the first time, there's nothing falling out of the truck or underneath it or anything like that. Third run out, ran personal best for that truck, 7:28.99. It was a red light, but
Okay, but this is an uphill track.
this is Buffalo Valley, so take away 2/10,
Take 2/10 off.
and it's kind of humid and crappy.
You're in the 6s.
Right,
If this was a level track and it wasn't as humid, it's very humid tonight.
right.
You'd be in the 6s.
You'd be in the
with that
6s
thing.
with a junkyard motor and eBay parts.
That's
yeah.
awesome. All right, so what are you gonna do? That's why they call it drag racing, okay? Because it's a drag sometimes.
It's tested to it. We test, and yeah, but then you work on it.
You and I both have the same problems in that we don't run these things often enough to work the bugs out.
No, because we've both been trying to get back to this track for 8-9 weeks.
9 weeks.
And then it sits, and because this doesn't drive like a regular car, you get your mind's gone, and it takes 1 or 2 laps down the track to go, okay, now I can drive this thing again. So that's why probably the third one was the best run, because all mean.
I could take another crack at it, but it's late. I think I'm just beating my head against the wall.
Oh,
today.
I'm 3 and done, and I'm putting it, taking it back home in one piece.
We'll try it again next weekend. There were other things you guys didn't even see because Kathy wasn't filming at the time. But we had a ground issue. I had the bumper bolts, so the back. I lost valuable like test and tune time because we're cranking the car, and suddenly like there's nothing on the button. You hit the starter button and she's stone cold dead. So Art and I are going through the car back and forth trying to figure out what happened. The battery is grounded to the bumper where the switch is. Well, the bumper brackets to the body are kind of rusty and dirty. Try to find that like spur of the moment, you know what I mean?
And like I said, you started the thing 30 times in the last moving around the shop, no problem. You get here and
This car never not started. Never not started. You get here exactly, and it's like, yeah, what happened? But who would have thought a bumper? And I got lucky. The only reason we found it that quickly was because he's got the starter button, and I'm like back here messing with the cables, seeing what's going on, and I saw sparks come from the corner over here. Bumper bracket.
move the ground, car starts.
All right, so back to the drawing board. We'll hit it again next week. You come out next week?
Yeah, we'll be around next week.
And that's it. See you tomorrow.
See you.